Hello there and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be looking at a Senate election video. Sorry I had to take down the previous video. I realised that the audio wasn't perfect on there, but hopefully it's better now. So we're going to get straight into it today and start on the West Coast with Washington. For Washington, I think the main state would I think the first seat would probably go to the Socialists, as I think they do quite well there, again winning those urban areas. For the suburbs, I think Labour would do quite well there, gaining a seat from Washington, again appealing to those suburban voters. And if you've not seen all the policies of the parties, go and check out the previous videos and you'll be able to see there. Now moving on to Oregon, I think Oregon again would probably go to Socialists, one seat maybe, and then the other seat I think would probably go to the Democrats. I think they'd be able to still keep a seat there. California, I think one seat would definitely go to the Socialists, but then the other seat I think could very easily go to the Green Party, bringing out those sort of more eco-friendly and environmentally focused voters over there. Hawaii, I think both votes would probably go to the Asian Party, doing very well there, getting both votes in Hawaii. Alaska, I think Republican would definitely do very well there. And the Green Party, especially in Alaska, since they're very environmentally focused over there, even more the Republican side, especially with Lisa Murkowski and sort of Al Gross, I think it was, or Al Gross, the candidate for Senate in 2020, who ran against them. But yeah, so Nevada, I think definitely a seat would probably go to the Hispanics, and the other seat probably more of sort of Labour type, I think would manage to get the other seat. Now moving on to Arizona, I think Arizona again would probably go to the Hispanic Party, and the other seat, I think again the Conservatives would do relatively well there. I think in New Mexico both seats would go to the Hispanic Party, exceeding much expectations there. And in Colorado, I think both one seat would go to the Labour and the other to the incumbent Democrats. Utah, I think the Mormons would do well there, but also the Conservatives picking up the other seat, still doing incredibly well there, gaining probably their one and only Senate seat. Idaho, I could see going to the Conservatives, and then both seats going to the Conservatives there. Montana, I think, could easily go to the Dixiecrats and then also a Conservative seat, as Montana seems to do very well with Conservative Democrats. In Wyoming, I think they would go to the Constitutionalists and the Republicans, doing very well there. I'm just going to fill all of these in quickly because they would all be the same here. I think, yeah, as I said, all the same here. Sorry about that. And I think go to second seat probably. I think both would probably go to the Conservatives, and Nebraska, I think second seat would go to Labour. Now moving on to Kansas, I think the Christian Party would definitely get a seat there, and the Black Party gaining the other seat. In Oklahoma, I think the other seat would also go to the Christian Party. Same in Texas, but I think the other seat would go to the Hispanic Party, definitely doing very well there. Then moving on to the bottom part of the sort of east, well, this would be the south, I think all these states would definitely go to the Dixiecrats, doing exceedingly well here, and gaining a seat in Georgia. I think in Arkansas and Louisiana, they'd probably go double, and then over in these in Alabama and Mississippi, I think they'd probably have all Christian seats, and again similar there. And South Carolina, I think in Georgia, I think the other one seat would go to the Black Party. Now on Florida, I think both seats would go to the Hispanic Party, doing very well there, getting both seats as I said, and sort of generally taking that sort of Hispanic vote and really making the best of it. Minnesota, I think, would go to the Labour Party, both seats. Same with Hawaii and Wisconsin. I think Michigan would have one seat to the Labour and one seat to the Black Party. And then I think Pennsylvania would also have, as I said, a seat to the Labour Party, but then I think Pennsylvania's other seat you could probably more see that going to Green Party, but I think it'd be very narrow and very slim margin. Ohio, I think other seat would go to the Conservatives. I think they'd really be able to bring up that vote there. In Illinois, I think the Socialists would probably do quite well there, and in their second seat, probably go to sort of a Labour type. Kentucky, I think both seats would go Conservative, but in Indiana, definitely could see both of them going to the Christian Party. I think the Dixiecrats would gain both seats in West Virginia, but in North Carolina, I think one seat would go to the Labour, but then the other seat to the Dixiecrats. Then moving on to Virginia, I think both seats there would probably stick to the Democrats, and that would be a sort of a stronghold for them. Maryland, I'd say the same, but then also Labour getting a seat in there. Delaware, New Jersey, Connecticut, I'd have to say all of them would probably have seats going to the Labour Party. I'd say Vermont, Maryland, and Rhode Island probably all have seats going to the Socialists. Now moving on to the other seats there, and I think Rhode Island and Massachusetts would definitely have the Catholic Party getting 2 seats from there, and then in Vermont, I'd have to say it's probably stick to the Socialists. And New York, I'd say again both seats would go Socialist, and they do quite well there. In New Hampshire, I think the Conservatives would definitely get a seat there, and then also Labour gaining that second seat. In Maine, again, I could see both seats going to the Labour Party, doing exceedingly well there. So that leaves us with our final 3, Connecticut, New Jersey, and Delaware. And I think Connecticut, New Jersey, and Delaware would probably have to go to, I probably have to say Green Party. I think would do well there, as I said, for all of them, and exceed expectations for there. So that is all the Senate seats done. But we've had requests again. I'm sorry for taking the video done. As I said, the audio wasn't perfect. But coalitions here again, you could see Labour with 23 probably getting Socialists and Labour maybe getting a coalition, which would lead to 33 electoral votes, and then maybe getting another one with the Hispanic and Black Party, which would 10 electoral votes, which would all add up to about 40, and then they could probably get a coalition with the Green Party as well, which would be 46, and then the Democrats would put them over the lead with 50. That again, assuming the presidency, and they probably very desperately need that. Those 2 electoral votes from the Catholic Party, which would be extremely hard to get. But in the end, if they got them, that would put them over the line, getting the majority. Or if they got them from the Asian Party, one or the other, or both. But more likely to get the Asian Party. Now, again, on the other side, Conservatives, Republicans, Dixiecrats all probably got a coalition. End up seeing about a 52, 46, or 47 map. So thank you for watching today's video. I'll be posting a lot more videos recently. Sorry, I took a wee bit of a break, but I'm back now. And yeah, stay tuned for more.